And the Murray-Darling River system is already in flood and it now faces a 5-day rain event. Our Sky News meteorologist Rob Sharp explains the flood threat.
There's lots of talk about the rain and flood event, so I thought it would be helpful to walk you through where the flooding is at the moment and how the rain is going to impact the Murray-Darling system, which is going to experience the bulk of the flooding. Now, the Murray-Darling expands from southern Queensland to northern Victoria through inland New South Wales and flows out into South Australia. Now, first to the Darling River catchment in the north. At the moment, we have minor to moderate and major flooding in multiple rivers. Now, the peak of those floods is near the Arrow Point. So on the Bogan River, it's just downstream of Nyngan, and in the Macquarie River, it's downstream of Dubbo, flowing northwards. The Namoy River also seeing moderate flooding. Similar story in the Barwon, the Culgoa, and it all eventually flows into the Darling, where there's already a moderate flood peak just downstream of Burke, courtesy of the August rain events that we saw. So all of that eventually flows into the Darling and downstream. But on top of those flood peaks, we're expecting this rainfall in the teal shading, 50 to 100 millimetres expected, and in the lime green, 25 to 50. So I still think the Namoy River will probably reach the major flood level again in the lower reaches, but Tamworth probably not. But areas further west of there and south of there, especially the Macquarie and the Bogan, the Culgoa and the Darling rivers, are all likely to see major flooding courtesy of this event. Now, further south across the Murray River system, there's also a little bit of flooding going on at the moment too. There's moderate flooding in the Darling near the Arrow Point there, and in the Lachlan River we've got major flooding and a bit of flooding in parts of the Murrumbidgee and moderate flooding in the Murray River as well. But Victoria's northern rivers are generally minor or below, so there's not as much water in that system. But there's a lot of rain in the forecast there as well. In the Teal, 50 to 100 millimetres expected. Therefore, major flooding is a serious risk in the Murray River, a chance in the Murrumbidgee and the Lachlan, and in the Darling River. The flows from further north will combine with the Murray and eventually flow out towards South Australia, and the flows there are likely to be the highest since 1974.